Hey,
Shit.
My boy, man.
Pop, pop, boom, motherfuckers. Come on, man.
What's going on, fellas?
It's going.
How y'all
It's going
doing,
great.
man?
Excited to be here for Dylan's Horror Show.
Yeah,
Poppin' Bobby Billups.
Good. What's the
We're
word?
going to be doing a little breathing tonight, and there's nothing bad that I like to do. It was a little breathing.
Breeding at night, you know what I'm saying? All
Breeding,
night long, all night.
And we're so close to Horror Fest, man. I can taste it.
I've already started watching my movies, man.
I bet, man.
Taking pages of notes and shit, bruh.
We are not there yet. We have a little bit to go, and tonight we are here to review Clive Barker's director's cut of NightBreed.
Because that's all there is.
Which, man, honestly, man, I'm glad that this is the only version I've ever watched, because from what I hear, man, the original cut was messed up, and a lot of you really,
I saw it once, and I know I saw the theatrical, but
I would like to get a copy. Like, I know if you get the DVD cut, I think you like the old DVD version, but it's a little pricey for a DVD. Nothing crazy, but I think it's like $30.
Yeah, because they didn't release that. They didn't release the director's cut till 2014.
Yeah,
like, we had all these like VHS ones going around before that, but the cut I first saw multiple times was that original theatrical cut.
This was. I don't know if I ever saw this as a kid. I do not remember if I did. It would have been that version, but I
remember I did not like it. I remember not liking the movie because it didn't make a lot of sense.
Yeah,
it is a way different. It's a way different movie because I was looking into like the differences and shit. Like the monsters are not the good guys in the theatrical cut. They recut it or something. Like wow.
Yeah, because the studio couldn't like understand that Clive Barker was trying to turn the monsters are good, the bad people are the humans.
Yeah, because I was watching it this time and I was like, I don't remember this movie being so emo. You know, like I don't remember being so emo, but I don't know.
But yeah, man. If you're first time coming here, make sure you like, subscribe, come check us out. We'll be doing this every Saturday, and like we said, Horror Fest starts. What is that? The first Saturday of September.
The 3rd.
September 3rd. Yeah, man, I'm pumped. I am pumped. Kicking that off with freaking Life Force 2, baby. Dude, I gotta I wonder if I put. How do you like when you pull that up? Is it just a video clip? Yeah, how do you do that, Robbie?
It's because I'm using my OBS through a virtual camera.
Oh.
But I'll cycle through all the movies as you speak.
Nice.
He's doing some OBS stuff. It's like Obi-Wan.
Nice.
Oh, I'm surprised there's no way you can do that on here. Maybe if you paid for it. Dog Soldiers.
Yeah, that will be coming out.
I feel like Demon Night was getting a lot of love. And that was one that was a last minute switch out too. Because I had thought of it and then I forgot and I sent Robbie the list and I was like, fuck, there was one I was on that I remember. And then I was at work and I just thought of Tales from the Crypt and I was like, that fucking Demon Night, that's the one I want.
Oh, that's the one.
Somebody's missing counsel because I just downloaded a movie today where two dudes are in the fucking bathroom. Is that the whole gist of the movie? Glorious? Are they just in the shitter the whole movie? That should be a good horror flick.
You take us out that list, and that fucking list is perfect.
Oh, whatever, man. It's gonna be a good conversation, man.
I'm so excited.
Not everybody will like
talk about how much he loves Scream 5, but yeah, man. So
there was a Scream 5.
1990. This definitely feels like it was made in the 80s. It's definitely, coming off that ending 80s era. You got Craig Schaefer as the lead role as Aaron Boone, and you get freaking who was that? David Cronenberg as the serial killer. Which he's badass, man. This is before his time doing really
he's
anything.
Much better here than he is on fucking Star Trek Discovery, I'll tell you.
Man, he's fantastic in this. He's just so cold in this. I love it. But we'll go around and you guys can tell me overall what you guys thought of this. Let's because I know, man, Fable that doesn't come on much. My man's busy as hell. But I know Clive Barker is something that always intrigues my boy here. So I know this was one you were definitely hyped to come on. And Clive Barker's only done 3 movies. So, man, I'm interested to know out of the 3, what's your favorite? I probably know which one it is. But what do you think of this movie overall, man?
Well, my favorite Clive Barker movie is definitely Hellraiser.
I figured.
It's tight. It's got a tight script. It's limited by its budget, just like this movie. Very limited by its budget.
But for this one was one of his bigger ones, though, just because this was coming after Hellraiser. So he got a little bit more money, but then he just.
So what did he direct? 3? He directed this one, Hellraiser, and what other one?
Lord of Illusions. Lord of Illusions.
Like I want like 200 monsters. Like he had like a crazy.
Hellraiser was the best.
He had a crazy. Vision. This was supposed to be a trilogy.
Yeah, he did have a heavy hand though in Hellraiser 2. So
right.
It's halfway. So he did 3.5. We could say.
Yeah, you just didn't direct that one.
Clive Barker to me is a lot like Stuart Gordon. He has these great ideas, and it's mostly his ideas that I fall in love with. In these movies that he's made, it's the concepts, and of course the monster designs are awesome too. He has really creepy monster designs in all his films. I just wish, just like Stuart Gordon, that he had the money to really make it what he wanted to make it. You know what I mean? This viewing of the movie, first, I don't know where you guys watch this thing, but the commercials I were getting was just interrupting this thing constantly. It was pissing me the hell off, and they were talking about.
I watched the Joe Bob Briggs live stream. Okay. So I got Joe Bob commercials, which those are good commercials. But
I was getting Pookie and Bean commercials.
Yeah,
I bet because it's on Tubi and it said it was for free on Amazon, but then I saw it was for free as part of this thing called Freebie with ads or whatnot.
Yeah,
so I actually rented it on Amazon. I paid the $4 and just rented it.
You don't got the Screen Factory?
Yeah, the Screen
Factory. Am I the only
one?
No, because I always wanted.
Disc.
Well, I always wanted the one that had the 2 movies.
Yeah,
I want both versions.
Starts off with Clive Barker introducing the movie and talking about how it came to be.
Okay.
Right. So next time I watch one of these movies with you guys, I'm definitely renting it. I'm not doing this free streaming thing anymore because NightBreed is a vibe. it's a vibe. There's a world there. There's a tone there that they're going for, and you kind of got to be in it. When it interrupts like that, it's like, what was happening again? When it comes back. But regardless of that, this movie is a lot more campy than I remember. And maybe it's the director's cut. But I was digging it. It's still awesome to see Clive Barker's vision. Like I said, the monster designs are awesome. One of my favorite things in Hellraiser is the Cenobites, right? So this just feels like an extension of the Cenobite world, almost in spirit, right? Especially with having Pinhead there as one of the lead NightBreed guys. So, very creative. Maybe reached a little too high, but I still love the attempt. I enjoyed this movie.
Hell yeah. One thing I gotta just say, does anyone else feel the Tim Burton esque score in this? I feel like Batman Returns.
It's Danny Elfman, that's all he does.
Yeah, it's Danny Elfman directly after he finished working on Batman.
So, was it? Yeah.
Yeah, most of his movies sound like Batman.
But yeah, the director's cut. So I guess when you watch the intro, they say that they added 40 minutes of new footage. It's like 20 minutes. It's only 20 minutes longer, but they took out some footage and added new footage and added new monsters and stuff. Because I guess when I watched the Joe Bob Briggs, I've seen this version a bunch, but I'd never seen Joe Bob Briggs kind of break it down. And he said that once you kind of got a third of the way after Boone dies and everything, you really still had no idea what the hell was going on. The love story wasn't there at all.
Yeah. They cut the whole love story out. They added more of the serial killing from David Cronenberg's character. And so now we understand, because last week we were like, how is it only 20 minutes longer, but it's got 40 minutes of new footage? Yeah. It's because some of the stuff they did specifically for the theatrical cut that got taken out because it was no longer applicable.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they cut some of the love story, but they certainly didn't cut a lot of the girl's part. I thought the girl figured pretty prominently, and in some ways, almost even more than Craig Schaefer did in the story, and his mullet, dangerous mullet. But no, I love this movie. I love that it was a world, the world building. There's a long scene with the girl where she's going down through the entire, complex down there, and seeing all the different sub things going on. That's just phenomenal. I mean, I could watch that the whole 2 hours and be interested. So the world building in the movie is fantastic. The makeup, I really enjoyed this movie. I know I didn't like it a lot last time. This time I liked it a lot. So I think it made a big difference.
Yeah, yeah. Robbie, what do you think of this film, man?
Well, this is the first time I've seen this film in probably 20 years, right? I've been saying that a lot lately.
So it's almost your first time watching it in a way.
Well, it's my first time watching the director's cut for sure.
Yeah.
Right? And I remember watching it as a kid. I pulled it from anything with Clive Barker's name on it. My mom was going to rent from the video store. So I was going to watch it. So I remember liking it a lot. I remember liking the monster makeup effects and all that kind of stuff. But so this first time I watched this, and guys, I was really pumped for this, and I was kind of let down, to be honest with you. So I got my notes here. And so it starts with this fever dream of an intro, but it leads us right to Angel Light in Tidy White, right? Because I kept looking at this dude. I kept thinking this is David Boreanaz. Yeah. Now I know it's the dude from Hellraiser Inferno, right? But holy shit, this dude looks.
I always thought they were the same guy when I was a kid.
He looks like Angel, right? It's a bit soap operatic at first, but it's nice to see David Cronenberg in this role, and he's kind of got this low key kind of performance that it's kind of not good, but at the same time kind of fascinating, because I'm like, why is he in this movie? It's so weird. The first kill is great. The slasher stuff, it's highlighted by the superb design of that killer. That's an iconic, cool, super fucking awesome design. The scene in the hospital with Narcisse ripping his fucking face off. That's super gnarly. The makeup effects and the vocal effects are astounding. They are the highlight of this film. First act feels a bit clunky, uneven, disjointed even. The music is great. I think, but it does feel like it goes too big at times,
Very derivative.
right? When it should be kind of slower, it kind of gets big. The story kind of drags on in the second act. It gets melodramatic. The production design and cinematography are well executed, but the story's where it stumbles for me. The flashback scene is badass, where they show like people slaughtering their kind before, when they goes into the skulls and does all that shit. That's awesome. The music, the lighting, the effects. A lot of the acting from the cops is really fucking bad. It kind of puts them in a caricature-ish type of thing that I don't know.
That's where the campiness I get from it.
Yeah, a little campy.
Scenes.
But the campiness kind of shows this kind of tonal clash for me, right? So it seems like Barker was reaching too far with this one. Like you say, you wish he had more. I think, I wish he had less, that he had to kind of tone this back, right? So it seemed like he's reached too far. He went too big, too much, too fast for that moment to last. The character relationships and the dynamics aren't strong for me. And the sense of wonder and awe is implicated, but not initiated by the story. So for me, there's a clash between that fantasy, horror, comedy, camp elements. So a lot of spectacle and romanticized melodrama I wrote here in my notes as I was watching the movie. But overall, a weak story with great effects that just doesn't quite pull it together for me, unfortunately.
Right.
For sure.
Yeah, I thought everything worked in the movie, with the exception of, for me, the cops. The cops, as you said, are total one note. The guy from Hill Street Blues is the same character as you see in all those movies. All the other cops, slaughtering those people, they total caricature. That was, to me, kind of the worst part of the movie. But I loved all the other characters. Yeah. And I loved the fact that they did, to me, I got the vibe where David Cronenberg was a serial killer. And he had, it's hard to get into this, but
you mean like in real life?
No, I mean in the movie, he's a serial killer psychologist. He takes in Angel, and he's put him under his wing, and because Angel, unbeknownst to Angel, I'm just calling him Angel now because he does look like Angel. Was one of the breed, but he never knew it. But he said enough. He alluded to this whole world, and then Cronenberg is like, he believed them to a certain degree, and he had to be the killer of all these like godlike creatures. He wanted to be the master killer, the slayer, and I like, there was enough story there for me of this community that I thought it worked, except for the cops. I thought it worked pretty well, and I could see them doing like a mini series on something like this. In fact, I think you go to IMDb, I think there is a thing open where they're going to be doing a show on it.
Yeah, Michael Daugherty was going to direct it, the guy that did Trick or Treat and Krampus, right? But
cool.
like I think the last we heard from that was like 2018, 2019. So it may be done.
Hopefully,
we'll see how this Hellraiser movie does.
Yeah, I was gonna say maybe then pump that back in production.
I feel you on the tone thing for sure. On this watch through, because like you, I feel the same way. I feel like I loved this movie as a child, as a kid, and now seeing it, your taste change, they grow.
I didn't get too much campy vibes out of it though. For me, I didn't get that.
Come on, when the cops come in and they're like,
with the cops, the cops are the worst part.
It felt like a prequel to Super Troopers, bro.
It was definitely, and I don't know if that was pared back because I don't remember that much from the original cut.
Well, in the original cut, they were trying to make the monsters, right? So they were totally changing the story. Right. So the one that we grew up on, I think we like just for this nostalgia value. I actually like the story better this way, right?
Right.
But it just kind of like the love story, I didn't really like that much. It kind of felt very Twilighty, right?
Yeah.
And not that there's anything wrong with that, but I think that fucking Angel Light was awesome. But I did not like the female lead at all.
Yeah,
she
wasn't that good. No,
I wasn't picking up on that.
I love her scenes where she's going through discovering the community. That's great. Yeah, she wasn't great. And let me tell you something.
That's part of the tone part that I was going to get.
Yeah, probably she's not a great actress.
Walking. No, it's not even that. They're walking through this. They're walking.
There's some
beautiful scene where they're walking through the freak show, basically, right? And they're supposed to be the good guys, but they actually show a shot of the guy eating a guy on the floor. So it's kind of like I want to feel bad for these creatures.
But it showed,
but I can't.
It was a world, and like any world, there's good and there's bad, and they all have their own type of life they live. That's like they made a point of saying each one of those monsters could be killed in different ways. Some could be bullets, some could be this, some could be that. They were so different, and I think that's what they were going for. The scene I hate in this movie, the worst scene, it's in every fucking 80s movie, is when they do a scene that's in a fucking club. That fucking song, they always come up with the worst fucking music. All these things where they're singing, everybody's clapping. Yeah.
Dude, that shit's so bad.
So fucking bad. And it's in every 80s movie.
That shit made me think of that scene in Twin Peaks where they're like, they do the musical number or whatever, and they're fucking singing that cheesy ass. I hated that fucking scene. That was the first moment where I got pulled out of it, right? I got pulled out while I was watching it. I'm into it. I'm digging it. I'm like, oh, it looks good. Like, by the way, the cinematography is great. Like, all that stuff looks good. But when it happened there, I'm like, oh man, what the fuck is this? Like, I like some cheese, but Jesus Christ.
And they suck.
It just never, there was so much, I think the scale was so big. Yeah. I don't think Clive, especially coming off of Hellraiser, was able to like, I think he needed to scale it down, man.
He didn't have, like, when you saw the scenes of Midian getting destroyed, especially that scene, you can tell that he couldn't handle the level of what was needed, the scale of what he was trying to achieve. You could tell his rookie directing right there. Like, a guy like
I think he did the best with the money he had.
Well, he had fucking money though, man. Like, I was thinking if this budget was applied to Hellraiser 2, whole different situation for Clive Barker's career.
And that was the same thing with Hellraiser 2, right? Because when they got to hell and it was supposed to be Labyrinth, Leviathan and everything, it looked kind of bad, but you can tell the idea there. And if he had the scope, if he had maybe it's not the money, maybe it's the guys he picked to make it, right? The effects house that he used. Either way,
or
it didn't achieve the idea.
It makes me want to read.
Down to money, and these guys are getting rushed on their shit. They don't,
What I love about Clive is his imagination, and it makes me want to read Cabal, which is the novel or the novella that this is based on. Like, the Hellbound Heart is different than Hellraiser, but it's also kind of very faithful at the same time. But there's some different elements, and I love the Hellbound Heart. And I've read short stories here and there. I read Books of Blood
Cabal
back in the day.
Came out, like right when Cabal came out, it was already like optioned and getting.
Well, if I remember correctly, didn't one of the big twos make a big deal out of this movie? Didn't Marvel or DC put out a pretty
Marvel Epic, because Marvel Epic had a really good relationship with Clive. Marvel had a good relationship with Clive because he did Hellraiser comics at Epic. He did he went over 20 issues of Nightbreed where he retells the story more in line with the original vision, right? And continues it a little bit further.
I remember that,
right? And then he did the Razor line over there where he was creating all this, these new characters for Marvel in his own little world. The Wachowskis got some of their early work there. So I love Clive Barker. I just feel like this one was like, there was a lot going on. And I know we say this a lot now, and it would have been a very applicable back then, but this would make a better television series.
Yeah.
Well, I guess it was supposed to be a trilogy, so that would have been sick. Joe Bob described it as like the horror trilogy of Star Wars. If they could have made it, that's what it could have been, because it would have been like, you get into some storytelling, more world building with Midian and everything, more with the god.
Yeah. If the studio didn't fuck him, and he got to make this movie and they got to make more, this could have been something really cool. Like, all these people are big fans of Babylon 5, but this Babylon 5, it gets shit on what Nightbreed could have been. Yeah. Right?
Exactly. Yeah.
Craig Schaefer wasn't the best lead though either. He was.
I think
he should have got David Boreanaz. I guess he was a little young though. I don't know.
I think.
Well, it was the girl that brought it down for me.
Me too.
That lady, she overacts so much.
Because never was it anybody in the Nightbreed. They were all fascinating. I wanted more of them, less about the fucking stupid ass cop. Like it felt like that stupid Superman movie where the cop, or it's not Superman movie, it's fucking James Bond movies when Roger Moore's got the stupid fucking hick cop with them. And then they bring him back for another fucking movie in Thailand. I'm like, this same New Orleans fucking hick cop is there in Thailand?
Because the people, he was a popular character with the
God
people.
damn it.
Yeah. I think the original version of this movie kind of made it, it kind of gave you the question, is Angel dreaming? Right? It played with that a little more. Is he in a waking world? Is he in a dream state? You know? Another thing they played with, I think, a lot more is whether the doctor being the serial killer, period. They're trying to convince Angel that he's the serial killer, and then it like prolongs a little longer. I believe that's how.
Well, I mean, you
remember the
Aaron,
original,
right? The guy, that Craig Sheffer.
Aaron is. You know, he's still in that state where he thinks he killed it.
You knew the guy was bad as soon as he said he's got a gun.
He's got a gun.
Oh, and then he gave him hallucinogens when he thought.
And then the cat goes, "Hey, where's
he's
the
like,
gun?"
"No, you're on a bad trip, buddy."
Yeah.
But I love this movie, man. I love the storytelling with it. I know, it doesn't get deep into it. I love the music. Obviously, Danny Elfman's fan-fucking-tastic.
To me, there was enough. There was enough there in that movie. I understand the shortcomings, but I think there was enough in that movie where I really enjoyed it because it built a good world.
Yeah, I'm glad I've only seen the director's cut, or at least that was my first viewing of it, because that's the way Clive Barker meant this, and this is the creation that he wants his.
Well, now that I've watched this, I'd like to go back and see the original cut. I'd like to see.
Oh yeah, definitely. I'm just saying, like, I
wish it was on the disc. I'd watch
my
it.
first like when I think a version of seeing this, it's gonna be this. I don't even know what was taken out of it. You know what I'm saying? Like, to make this what it is, but this is the way that it's meant to be seen. So I'm glad this is the way I first saw it. But David Cronenberg is fan-fucking-tastic as well. The monsters, the effects on this are great. The set designs are incredible. Like we said, though, Clive Barker, very young in his shooting. He probably could have, I don't know who his DP was on this, but I know a couple of his editors bounced out of this because it was just too hard. With the studio was giving him shit, and
that's interesting to know because it is kind of weirdly edited.
Yes, it is.
Yeah,
they had a couple problems.
The whole editing, that sequence where they chase Cronenberg out of the compound. Craig Sheffer chased him out, and then he's out like the garage with the old dude. It's like I didn't realize he even got away. It was edited kind of wonky.
Yeah. Sometimes, man, Hellraiser is definitely my favorite, but there's days, man, where sometimes I almost want to give this the number.
I think Hellraiser is definitely,
especially for what could have been. Now that you think what they could have done with sequels or a TV series. But
Hellraiser has a lot of ideas. It has a lot of ideas that you can explore all day.
Yeah.
Even like just a love story or whatever.
It makes me want to check out that comic.
And then, what they could do with the sequel, that Boone is like he's like the chosen one or some shit.
Well, like this guy, he killed 15 people, right? And the cops have to deal with a press conference because they officially caught the serial killer. That's a whole episode. That's that whole dynamic, calling the press conference. We got the guy and him being in jail right now. He's trying to get out. He
didn't even know that this guy just got shot dead 2 days ago. He's like,
right. So there's a lot there. There's a lot of ideas there.
I'm on eBay right now. You can get these comics pretty freaking cheap. Like you might want to look in your dollar bins at your LCS if you're interested in the NightBreed. And IDW even did some, it seems. So.
Wow. Yeah, man, the monsters are great. I think Image is Image Animation.
Yeah, it's Image.
Special makeup and effects. I guess they had like 120 makeup artists at times because Clive was trying to go big.
Looks better than She-Hulk, bro.
I haven't watched She-Hulk. No She-Hulk. I haven't seen it yet.
He might have went a little too big at times, like with some of the shots, he just wasn't equipped for it, but it still looks damn good for.
Well, it had a lot of
3 movies, man. his 3 movies are damn fucking good, man. And I know there's huge fans of Lord of Illusions. There's huge fans of this, you know, and then he's got the Hellraiser fans.
I'm a big fan of Lord of the Illusions. Like, I haven't seen it since like probably
dude,
15 years, but like I got to get a hold of that. Is that on Blu-ray?
Yeah, and it's hard as fuck to get because it's out of print. But you might be able to get like a region free.
Yeah, you can get it region B.
Bro, I was looking the other day. I was like, you know, I'm getting close to having. 4K. You know, I was looking. I was like, I'm getting close to having a lot of Wes Craven movies, so I'm ready to finish out this collection. I'm looking his one movie that's not horror, which is Music of the Heart with Meryl Streep. Right? Y'all remember that movie? Like that's a Wes Craven film, and it's one of his. To him, it was one of his favorite movies that he ever did because it wasn't horror, right? But it's really cool, like just cheesy, how the importance of music, right? But that motherfucking Blu-ray is like $100. I was like, what the fuck? Man?
What the hell?
Out of all of them? Come on,
right?
Man.
That's the one, though. That would be the $100 one if you think about it.
It should be.
That's crazy.
Everybody's wondering, tonight I'm drinking Masshole beer because after all, I am a masshole.
I'm drinking A-OK because after all, I am A-OK.
Does Clive design his creatures? Or does he have a guy that
he draws them? From what I was told, from the behind the scenes features and shit, he would draw them out. Yeah. He could bust them out in like a minute or two, and then the special effect. Then somebody would, like, depending on what they looked like, they would somebody would give them attributes and like design, like kind of more details for the effects, like, you know, like with the porcupine lady, like, so they kind of would know,
and that's where I was headed, because his design, he's like an H.R. Geiger, and I guess that's where my love for Clive Barker really stems from. His imaginative monsters, and I think he nails it. I mean, the Cenobites in Hellraiser, the creatures in this movie, there's something really primordial, scary about the creatures he designed.
He's nothing like you've ever seen before. He's so... like
well, I was going to say he's like a Tim Burton or a Ridley Scott, where there's a lot of design work put in.
This one really reminds me of Tim Burton, but in a way, man, Clive Barker's better than Tim Burton.
No, I just meant like in the way that Tim Burton will sketch out all of his characters and shit, like Edward Scissorhands and and shit like that. Like he sketches in Nightmare Before Christmas. That's all designed by Tim. That's all I meant, right? At the time, and the reason why people were gobbling up everything that Clive Barker was doing is because he, at this point, people thought he was the next Stephen fucking King. Every book he was going to do was going to be a big hit movie. They thought Hellraiser was the start of it. It was like Brian De Palma's Carrie. You know what I'm saying? Like that was going to launch this prolific career of Clive Barker's, and it did. The thing is, Steve let Hollywood do what they wanted to for a while, until he tried to assert control, and then we got Maximum Overdrive, and then anyway. But you know, Clive got to direct his first movie. What if Stephen King directed Carrie and it was a hit? Stephen King's career would be way different. It probably would have sucked. Let's be honest, right? Like,
I don't know. I think Clive Barker may have been too dark to be the next Stephen King. And Stephen King stuff is more audience friendly, I think.
Yeah, it definitely is. I was gonna. They're definitely in there because they're both novelists, you know. So you got to put them in that.
I guess it's also how you make them, though, too.
But if we kept
Clive
pushing,
Barker's horror is a lot more intense.
If we kept pushing that boundary, though, or Stephen King, let's be like the prime of Stephen King is the 80s. Like the 70s shit's really good, but that led to the prime, which was the 80s, right?
Dude, even now he's got banging shit coming out.
But if we would have escalated that and caught on, that could have been Clive Barker, you know. And I think it would have been Clive Barker if Hellraiser was followed up by a string of successes, because after Carrie, you had fucking The Shining, Dead Zone, you had a bunch of movies that hit really good for their time. Do you know what I'm saying? Salem's Lot miniseries and shit.
Zohack makes a comment here I kind of agree with, is that Danny Elfman was probably the wrong composer for this movie. I think he was.
Like people though that don't fucking know that don't work with Clive Barker on his movies, like they always end up being shitty. Like the best movies that are Clive Barker work are directed by Clive Barker. It's almost the Stephen King. It's the funny, like quoting the Maximum Overdrive saying where he's like, if you want to do something right, they said you got to do the Stephen King story yourself, you know, or whatever. So I
But I
feel
think
like
the music could have been in
by
this case.
him has been the best we'll see on these new Hellraiser movies. I hope I really hope, I want them to be incredible. But you know what I'm saying? I'm not going to go in high hopes because I haven't even seen anything, and we're getting 2 of them. So,
well, the one thing I will say about this, and it seems like me in particular maybe being a bit harsh on this film and on Clive Barker as a director, I don't think Clive Barker's a bad director. Here's the thing, even with the director's cut, I don't think that we got the film that was intended, period. Because once you as a director start clashing with your studio and they're going behind your back, changing your fucking movie, it's over, bro. I think this director's cut's put together with surviving footage that was worthy of being able to be restored. You know what I'm saying? There's a Cabal cut out there that's like almost 3 hours. That's like from a VHS work print that you can find, right? So like that's available on YouTube, by the way. It's like a 3-hour version of this fucking movie, but it looks really bad and it's not paced right because it was never. And the thing with the music, like the music doesn't fit because what movie was Danny Elfman scoring for? The producers or Clive Barker's? I bet it's for both of them at the same time.
It's kind of like the first Michael Myers thing, but even more because there's just I think I don't know, man, because I can't remember the details of Michael Myers, but dude, 40 minutes of footage is a lot to take out of a film.
There's a big difference between him and, like you guys mentioned, Tim Burton, right? Because Clive Barker is a writer and an artist probably first, where Tim Burton's probably a filmmaker, right? Playing with cameras and shit since he was a kid.
Tim Burton's a filmmaker first.
Right. So, you know, even though Clive has that great
he's an artist
of an idea, those great designs, he's cutting his teeth on these movies, and he's doing better than a lot of other people. Let's keep it very clear. Even if when he fumbles here, there's some clever shots, clever things being done. I mean,
just look at the sequel to Boondock Saints. It could have been way worse. That's all I'm saying.
I love the intro to this movie, as a matter of fact, where they show them they show the girl dancing or something, and the words "NightBreed" come across the screen, and that score is good at that point. You know?
In my notes, I wrote Fever Dream. I wrote Fever Dream for the intro because it comes at you, man, like
Yeah, I'm like, oh,
like all in your face and everything.
And she's all like, and the guy with the dreadlocks, he's awesome, by the way, like the dreadlock monster. But it was like, shut the fuck up. And I was like, oh shit, like, he had this crazy voice. Yeah, man.
So you probably should do favorite characters then.
Shit, we can. Who wants to go? You want to go first, Robbie?
Well, let's go. Let's let Fable go first since he's already let his first go, and we don't want anybody to steal it from him.
That wasn't my favorite character. Probably my favorite monster. But you know what? I'll go with that guy. Because he had charisma. That monster had charisma. Every time he joined the screen, you felt danger was in the room. Like, you know, even though he killed
Craig Schaefer. So.
Exactly.
Because it was the prophecy, right?
Yeah.
Now, I believe that dude is the guy that played the Chatterer, I think.
Oh, okay.
I think it might be.
The Porcupine Girl is the other girl from Hellraiser.
I knew I recognized them too.
And then Butterball is the dude who gets like burned alive out in the sun.
He wasn't the guy with the snakes in his stomach?
No, I don't think Butterball was a big dude because he's wearing a big costume, but I think it's the dude.
Wasn't there a chicken with a guy's head in the middle?
It was something like that. It looked like I think it was a fat. Maybe it wasn't a chicken. I don't know. Apparently, in the theatrical cut, you get like a third or like a fourth less fucking monsters in the theatrical cut.
I'll go with the dreadlock guy.
Chicken again, man.
And I'll go with the fat guy too, because he had a lot of quotable lines. There's a few quotable lines in this movie. It's a little bit quotable. The fat guy.
There goes the neighborhood.
He was like, there goes the millennium, or something like that.
I felt bad for the guy with the dog, the guy burned alive. I felt bad for that guy.
Yeah.
I guess that was the scene where they were trying to endear you to the monsters. It's like, oh no, the cops and the humans are the monsters.
Yeah. I'll give my favorite character the dude, I forget his name, but the guy that rips his face off. I liked him.
Narcissus, I think. Narcissus,
Yeah, he was my favorite character, I think, in the movie.
He's great.
Yeah, I'll go next. That was going to be mine because he's awesome. He's got charisma. And then, like, he dies But he comes back, right? He's back at the end, right? Isn't he?
He dies in the hospital, but he's back. Yeah, he goes the Meridian with him.
But I mean, like he gets his head cut off, but then he comes back at the end or some shit.
Yeah,
I don't know. There's a weird
yeah.
discrepancy there between the theatrical cut too, where I don't know. But anyway, I thought he was great. But I'll just go ahead and say Doug Bradley. You know, Doug Bradley being like the leader of the
I
NightBreed.
didn't
I
even know
loved
that
it.
was him at first too.
I like at first I'm watching it. I'm watching it. I'm like, I didn't know Doug Bradley was in this film because I recognized the voice. When I was looking at one of the things changed in the theatrical cut, they had somebody dub all of his lines.
Yeah.
So the director's cut was the first time you actually heard Doug Bradley. So I'm watching. I'm like, I didn't know he was in this fucking movie. So that was really cool.
Did he dub his own lines? That would be.
No, they apparently used the original footage or something like that. But I don't know. But they they for some reason dubbed him, man. It was like Doug Jones and fucking Hellboy or fucking Silver Surfer, right?
Yeah.
Who's your favorite?
They're all really good. Damn. I was gonna say maybe the freaking little blue devil guy with the horns. What's the name of their god again?
Starts with a B, I think.
It's Baphomet.
Baphomet, yeah.
Yeah, I'll say that just because there was someone who had to be in that creature outfit that wasn't just like a statue or anything, and that was pretty cool. You know, with which gives me definitely Hellraiser vibes. You know, the fucking head like piece. But I like all the monsters, and the biggest monster of all, and he's not even a monster, he's a human, is David Cronenberg. And the mask that he wears is fucking awesome. You could make a serial killer slasher movie just out of that, which that's what the studio was trying to do. But they were trying to turn this into like a slasher movie with more Cronenberg scenes and less like monsters, because like we said before, this is a monster movie where the monsters are the good guys and the humans are the bad people. Which the studio kind of couldn't figure. Like, I guess they couldn't understand which in a way Frankenstein. That's what Frankenstein is kind of, you know what I mean, about. So I stupid as fuck. Just people, these studios, they never understand a good artist. You know what I mean? And they always ruin their shit, man. But luckily, man, we got the fucking Clive Barker cut years later, man, and yeah, man, dude, the monsters are pretty damn cool in this. And then you get that cool the little girl when the chick's pulling up and you get her out in the sun and she's like that little, like, I don't even know, like cat, like kind of like a sleepwalker
slimy cat
monster, you know what I mean? Like this. It's cool as hell though, man. I love this movie, man, and it's just to think what they could have done with the world building on this. But I love what we get out of it. I truly love what we get out of it. And, it's a shame, man, because Clive is so old now. It's like they could have had him over the years, like help, being on set, helping them with movies, you know what I'm saying? And instead they just, they fucked around and, now we got fucking 2 Hellraiser movies coming out, one on Hulu and one probably on Netflix, like. But what else? I guess we could dive into the music because that's a big topic. Danny Elfman, Robbie, man, what do we got to say about the music?
I like a
lot of Batman Returns vibes. Some people say they don't think that the music is quite right for this. I know you also said is that the theatrical cut. Or is that what?
Yeah, it's got to be weird to put together this director's cut and use Danny Elfman's music, but not be able to have him there. Like I don't know. Usually, when a composer's doing their work, they're composing along with a cut of the movie, right?
Yeah.
Like, so I'm sure he was working on Clive Barker's original vision, right? And then it started getting cut down. But there are times where, and I love I love Danny Elfman. And I feel like, especially coming right off of Batman, it doesn't sound like Batman, which other scores of his do. Now, all of his scores through this era sound Danny Elfman Elfman-esque. This felt more like Danny Elfman trying to do like this big bombastic fantasy piece, right? And there are moments where it really works, but it doesn't work for me in the film that I watched. Like I said, the score would get too big when the scene was smaller, or in a big scene, the music would be small. So I don't know what Danny Elfman's intention was when he's composed this film to what he was seeing, but the way it got put together didn't fit tonally for me.
Right.
The score, listening to it on its own, is fine. It's great. It's comparable with anything else of that era. Not as good as Beetlejuice or Batman for me, or Batman Returns, which I think is one of the best of his from this era. But then he has since branched out, and now Danny Elfman scores don't sound so Danny Elfman-like. So, but I think the music's good. It just doesn't quite feel like it fits.
Really? What about you, Scarphead?
Yeah, I didn't think his score fit the movie, and maybe that's some of the behind the stuff, because maybe maybe he didn't know what movie he was directing, and maybe there was so many rough cuts thrown by the guy. He just shrugged and just went with what he knew. But yeah, I don't think he fits this. It needed a smaller score, as Robbie says, something not quite as
Christopher Young.
You're not blazing into Axis chemicals and blowing up the Joker.
Right.
You don't need that kind of bombastic. I compare Danny Elfman with like James Horner, who directed a lot of the Star Trek stuff, like Star Trek 2. If you listen to I think he did Black Hole and a bunch of other movies, they all kind of sound the same. He has a lot of motifs that run through his music that in all these different movies, and Danny Elfman does too. And a lot of times I think that hinders my appreciation of the score, because I'm watching the movie going, oh, that's the scene from fucking Star Trek 2 when they're shooting Spock out of the tube, and that's the scene from Batman where it's too derivative. But my bottom line is it didn't fit this movie. I would like to see somebody else do it.
What's crazy is the most successful modern day composers all do that, right? Danny Elfman, John Williams, Howard Shore, Hans Zimmer, they all do that. They all just keep repeating themselves, right? It's weird.
To a certain extent, yeah.
I think it matches. It goes good for some parts of the movie, not all. I wouldn't say it's just a total shit show, because I do really enjoy this music at times, and it goes really well with it, especially like that fever dream sequence. I think that just kind of
it's got a freak show carnival vibe to it. So when you're seeing the freaks.
And I love
you're
it.
seeing this world, it's like, wow, right?
Yeah.
That's why those comparisons are to Batman Returns, because that's some of the motifs he repeats and kind of hones for Batman Returns with the circus gang.
Yeah. Which is a bit of a bummer, because they feel so identical, kind of like a Psycho and Reanimator type thing. But
I don't know. Batman Returns is way different though, because there's more of that like choral Elfman that you get in like Beetlejuice, where you get the you get a lot more of that in a whimsical kind of nature in Batman Returns. You don't get that so much here. You get more of the like, this is Danny Elfman doing Clive Barker by way of John Williams.
Can you reenact that one more time?
You got to get that vibrato, that falsetto and vibrato. Son.
What do you think of the music, Babe?
Yeah, you guys said it all. I don't really have much to add to that. I agree 100%. The music works in certain spots, especially the freak show aspect of it, when they show all the freaks in the world and doing all that. But when you get to probably the serial killing, when he's just killing people here and there, it probably should be more subdued, more dark. Yeah, it should be toned down a little bit, a little more sharp, a little more, you know what I mean? Because this is a serious thing. He's freaking killing people, and they're treating it serious, directing it seriously, unlike the cop stuff. Which we talk about the
performers.
Nobody suspects fucking this crazy ass fucking.
When he kills the lady in the beginning, the housewife, that was pretty dark. Because
I feel like
a regular lady. Wasn't a pretty woman, you know what I mean? It's a regular, really
I feel like the performances are giving us a more subdued, kind of under kind of scored, like performance. but we're getting this big like bum, bum, bum,
Right.
bum at times, right? And it needs to be quieter because I think the movie needs to be quieter, man. To be honest with you. I don't know.
Absolutely, I agree.
Oh yeah. Yeah, though I enjoy Danny Elfman's score on this. There's nothing I really hate about it. At times, there's times where I can see it's a little out of place, but for the most part, I just like a lot of stuff in it. Let's see what else. Style, story, and structure. We kind of talked about that.
We can hit the special effects one more again.
Yeah.
Maybe. Or the theme.
Yeah, the theme I was gonna do. The theme is like what you're trying to say, isn't it? Well, the special effects, man, they definitely had to go through some shit, man. Waking up at like starting your day at 3 a.m., you know, to fucking have them ready by, you know, maybe like fucking 8 a.m., 10 a.m., 12 a.m. Dude, could you imagine that? Just going through all that shit just for makeup and, you know, just to film a scene for a couple minutes and then they got to go through an hour or two just to take it out. But let me see.
What's crazy to me about that is that I understand the inconvenience that is to actors, but the artistry that evokes when you're watching a movie, like when I'm watching NightBreed, whatever we're talking about, the incongruities in the story or whatever, right? Yeah. All that aside, this movie looks better than She-Hulk. This movie looks better than fucking anything that's in all this CG shit today. It
20
looks
years. It's gonna look so much better.
Yeah, it looks better. And yeah, I get it. Boo hoo fucking who. You got to sit in a fucking chair for a few hours. Boris Karloff had to sit in a fucking chair for 8-10 hours. Doing this
unknown
shit.
chemicals put on. At least
and you know who that motherfucker is. Here's the thing. You want to go there, have your fucking coffee, and go on a green screen and do all that shit. That's nice. But a lot of actors get paid a lot of actors get paid a lot of money. You can sit in a goddamn chair because the makeup process has gotten better. So they don't have to.
I don't think CGI hasn't really replaced makeup effects. I mean, if you're talking about something like the Orville that has a lot of people in masks and stuff, CGI hasn't replaced that.
They're just using leftover Star Trek fucking molds and shit, bro. I'm like we need more of this in film. Like, look at Pan's Labyrinth and Hellboy 2. How Guillermo del Toro is able to use CG and practical and blend it. Everybody's so easy now. They just go straight fucking practical. That's why even shit like Discovery, there is a cool element to it for me because it's cool to see Doug Jones in a fucking costume as Saru. It's cool to see that real authentic performance come through that makeup because makeup techniques have gotten so much better, man.
Well, some you can do. I mean, you
tactile.
This
it's tactile. You have the texture. I mean, it doesn't feel shiny and fake and video.
The Hulk is not somebody that you can ever do in practical.
Like Favreau keeps a lot of his shit practical.
If you go back and do the Hulk in practical, you're gonna be back in Lou Ferrigno times. I mean,
I bet Stan Winston could fucking do it. I guarantee it.
Or it would look like the guy, the commish from.
Somebody can do it. Somebody can do it well.
Dude, no.
I just watched all those Turtles films, bro. If they can make the Turtles look so goddamn real. And emotional in 1990.
And I'm surprised you're taking that stance, Pat, because in the 80s, there were things in the 80s that were just, how the hell are we going to do this? And that didn't stop them from making Gremlins and RoboCop and all these movies.
I don't think CGI has replaced makeup effects. It has replaced practical effects like bullet sprays and wounds. That sucks. That should be done practically because it looks terrible. But I mean, just makeup on a character, unless it's a character that physically you can't do because it's so off the wall big or something. I think they still do makeup. I don't think they do CGI everything. Give me an example of CGI.
I think you watching too many old movies, Scar Pad. You need to watch some new ones, man. I'm just saying.
Like what? Give me an example. Like what?
A lot.
Fucking goddamn.
Any Marvel movie?
Any Marvel. How about Moon Knight's fucking cape? How about that?
Yeah.
Can we get
how about they built this beautiful fucking suit
Right,
and then
yeah.
they cover it with CGI to make it look
Well,
fucking
that's terrible.
fake.
That is terrible.
Yeah.
And then they
How
do
about
the
any
same
fucking
thing. They
Star
do the
Wars
exact
movie?
same thing with the Spider-Man outfit. Beautiful suit.
I
Cover
think they
with
still use a lot of
CGI.
practical in the Star Wars.
Jesus Christ. All right, we're moving on.
No,
I disagree.
The,
but
the,
it's
the
okay.
moment they,
Hey,
yeah,
man,
the moment, did they bring back Yoda
if
practically?
they started,
Like, dude,
putting,
you already said it, man. Bullet
they started
fucking
doing
splatter.
Oh, I know,
Bullet
but that shouldn't
splatters.
be done.
What the
Yes.
fuck, bro? Bullet splatters? Like, come on.
It's
Blood
because they're
That's
trying to go
lazy.
as cheap.
CGI,
Look
as
at
Lazy,
any
possible.
goddamn
man.
zombie movie, man. Like look at any, like, come on.
Look at The
It's all
Walking
CG
Dead.
now, man.
Look at The Walking Dead. 11
Okay,
seasons,
okay,
11
homeboy
seasons
that
straight,
ripped
all
his
practical effects.
homeboy that ripped his scalp off in this movie, right? That would have
Yeah.
been something kind of digital back in the day. They would have added meat and blood and all that, but this looked great because it looked like it was really peeling off his scalp, like. And Clive does a bunch of that kind of stuff where the skin coming off.
Actually, a
And-
series
and-
I just finished watching, I thought was great because they went back to a lot of practical, was Child's Play. And that did a decent job of doing very good use of practical effects.
Well, yeah, we're talking about TV shows. Let's talk about some
Yeah.
movies. Like, I was just, or even TV shows. Okay, I love Sandman. I've watched all 10 episodes. Oh shit, they just put out another one. Anyway, but I watched the 10 episodes initially of Sandman. Sandman's great. CG's not so great sometimes. There's some things that they could have done practically in Sandman that they didn't.
Yeah.
Merv Pumpkinhead could be done practically. Anybody can do that fucking puppet jack-o'-lantern face and animate it with emotion and character, right? Like, I'm just saying that's an example of where
They even
it's too
replace
easy
sets.
for them. Like Fable was saying, back in the day, they would be like, how the fuck are we going to do this?
How are we gonna do
and
this?
they had to figure it out. This time they just go, we'll let some fucking 22-year-old fucking computer science dropout fucking do it. Like, like, you get what I'm saying? Like, I don't know, man. I don't
Think
know.
of Star Wars in '78.
They could
You
do
bring
Eagly.
that-
What about
You bring
Eagly?
that to a producer and you tell them, you explain Star Wars to them, and then they'll be like, "That sounds awesome. How the hell are we gonna do this?" You talking about ships going over here, flying over here, 7-foot dogs, little green elf puppets. You're talking all kinds of things there. So it's not about that. It's about the balls, the tenacity to try something and fail. They're playing it way too safe now. The computer's the go-to, and that shouldn't be it.
Last week we were talking about the Mortuary Collection. Do you want to see
Yeah.
a half a second of a CG dick blowing up, or do you want to see a practical effect of a dick blowing up? I want to see a practical dick blowing up.
Or you could
You're a
see
practical dick type of
Tom
guy.
Savini taking a shotgun to that practical dick and blowing it off. That's what would happen if Tom Savini was there. He would take a shotgun. He would make a practical dick, take a shotgun to it, and blow that fucker off.
Yeah. I hope they never make a Gremlins movie because you're going to see CG Mogwai and it's going to
Exactly.
make you cry.
That's why I'm glad that the
Fucking
prequel
terrible.
series is animated.
That's why I'm so glad Don Mancini is still the one working on the Chucky movies, making it all practical
Yeah,
effects.
because look at the fucking remake of Child's Play.
Terrible.
Oh,
I
man.
never watched that one. I never watched it.
Oh, it's bad, bro. But you might like it. I'm sure you'll appreciate the practical effects in there, the lack
And to see
thereof.
all the CGI.
CG has its purposes, but it shouldn't replace it. Like, it shouldn't replace a set. Build the goddamn set.
I think it, yeah.
Because when
I
the
think
people aren't
The
there,
sets
it-
in
you
this
could
movie,
tell.
the sets in this movie are fucking genius. They should have put that fucking production design team and that budget into Hellraiser 2.
it should be 75% practical, 25% CGI. If we're gonna be like statistical about it, I'd even say more practical. But if we're, I think that's the perfect level of, you know what I'm saying, like. And then
You
you're
can
not
take
stressing
whatever
all these
mistakes
fucking
the
workers. Then you're not
practical
stressing
has.
all these people out. Like all these effects. CGI workers are dogging on Marvel and shit.
Del Toro does it the best.
Exactly.
He can blend it so well. He
He
does
does.
practical, and the CG's there to even that out or to do the things that
He does the set
are
building.
too epic in scale, right?
Yeah.
So yeah.
'Cause
I'm not saying we need to
see,
bring back. I'm not saying we need to bring back matte paintings and really bad effects and shit. I'm just saying we need to let some people fucking try, because there are some really good makeup artists out there,
Hell
and
yeah.
I don't think that the technology has increased exponentially the way it should have in the last 20 years because of the reliance on computer generated.
I mean, look at what they did with Game of Thrones. A lot of that, the good shit in that film is all practical. You know what I mean? Like once they get into CGI territory and blue screen territory, you can obviously tell. But when they're like in some of those earlier seasons, when they're in like real landscapes and shit, it looks gorgeous.
Look at the difference between Lord of the Rings and the Hobbit trilogies.
Exactly. That's a big
go.
one. That's a big one.
Perfect. And movies like Mad Max, Furiosa, the last Mad Max. I mean, that was all practical. It was freaking amazing.
Yeah.
You could not have achieved those shots with computers. I don't care how good of a computer artist you are.
That flame-throwing guitar would look so cheesy, man. So cheesy.
Dude, what up, Professor Bill? Did I come late to the discussion? One of the best movie stories ever made. Man, you came a little late. Yeah,
it's probably good that you came late then.
Still haven't rated it or anything. See, I guess for y'all, man, I love this film, but we should have got him on, man, to rave about it. But you want to go into the theme now for this one?
Yeah, man.
Well, let's let Robbie start this one off, man.
It's obvious. We know Clive Barker. We know his history. We know that he is a gay man who grew up as an adult in the 70s, 80s, and into the 90s. And we know that this is a story about outcasts. This is not an X-Men story. This is a fucking Morlocks story. This is about the mutants that aren't pretty enough to be on the X-Men team or X-Force or X-Factor or nothing. This is a Morlock story. It's got that. It's got it with some scope. It's got it with some scale, but it doesn't quite hit there. But that's what this is. This story is about the outsider, the disenfranchised, those who are abused by power and authority because of who they are, that they have no choice in it. You know what I'm saying? So like there is that allegory of any disenfranchised, marginalized group throughout history and their clash against an authoritative control or government that's trying to control their way of life, right? And I mean, that's very obvious to me, right? And I applaud it for that because it's more in line with that than Hellraiser could have had some of those tones, but they played it safer. Clive is going out there with it in this one.
Right.
Oh, sure. Scarpad, what do you think the movie's trying to say, my brother?
Well, I think obviously it's trying to say down with fucking CGI, mother. No. No, what Robbie said, I think I got very strong American Indian indigenous peoples type of it. Really, anybody, as he said, any marginalized group, whether it be indigenous African Americans or Native Americans, anybody who has a society that is outside of a main society, and how those people, will get the society changed and ultimately destroyed because it's different. And and that's really what the movie is about. Just that differences in people's inabilities of seeing other people's ways as just different ways and different values and different religions and all that. So yeah, I mean there was a lot of that, and unfortunately I think it got because the cops were so one note. It wasn't really. I think they were that way because he really wanted to show that and drive that home. But it would have been nice if it was a little bit more even-handed.
You know what got me in this? His lover is a member of the police force.
Right.
Ooh, now we got like a Romeo and Juliet kind of bit. And did I say warlocks? I meant Morlocks. I don't know if I said warlocks.
You said Morlocks.
Okay,
No,
Morlocks. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so fucking with me, man. He's not even here, and he's fucking with me.
Yeah, the people weren't the aggressors. They weren't going out, and they probably could have went out and ultimately took on mankind, but they just want to be left alone and let alone live.
They want to live their life and eat people.
I wonder. Professor Bill said he's a huge fan. I wonder has he read the Cabal book? Because no one here has read the Cabal book or the novelle. Yeah, I never have either.
It's on my list now for sure. The long list. The backlog, as some would say.
Who's that?
Yeah. NightBreed reminded me of the circus freaks from the comic shows and by Mad Cave. Yeah. Fable, what do you think this movie's trying to say, my brother?
I think this movie's trying to say like two different things, both dealing with the same kind of thing, like the face, the hidden faces. The psychiatrist / serial killer. His whole theme is about the hidden face, the two faces. This is your fake face, this is your real face. But with him, his real face is a fake face, which is meta in itself, right there.
That's brilliant, though. You're right, because everybody has that marginalized bit inside of them at some point. Like even the people that have made it, that are accepted, there's a bit inside of them that they feel if it was unmasked to the population, they would be outcast, right? Yeah. So the hatred on the outcast is a reflection on yourself, bruh.
Right. He feels jealous of the NightBreed because they're able to be themselves. They're able to be the monsters they are. And in his world, he can't, so they can't. You can, I can't. If I can't, you can't. That kind of thing. And the other thing also dealing with faces is, of course, the obvious. Some of the ugliest people have the prettiest faces, right? These monsters are freaks and all this and everything, but they save Boone. They're trying to survive. They've been hunted their whole lives. And, you got this psychiatrist, these cops, these higher authoritative people in our society who are good looking too. They're not freaks or anything. So, I think it's trying to play with that too.
It's got that Wes Craven bit too, where it's like, you think these guys are monsters? What about these guys? And it's showing this guy's eating people, but look at what the marshal or the sheriff or the chief or whatever the fuck is doing. Like, look at his, he's shooting at his own men. He would be killing his own men if his gun was loaded at the end. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's fucked up, man. That's fucked up. Who are the bad guys here? Yeah, there's nuance to all of it, right? Absolutely. Mm-hmm. And I do think it's some of the earliest reference to the trans movement. There's a lot of movies that start dealing with it. Some would say by today's standards problematic at first, talking about movies that say like Dress to Kill, for instance, but it is something that kind of starts becoming more and more and more. And when you look at this work at this time by people like Clive Barker, Neil Gaiman, we were talking about Sandman, there was something going on in the counterculture, in the subculture at this time. Right. Clive Barker had his finger on that pulse, at least with his imagination and his work with the word, I will say. I thought Dylan would be back by then.
Yeah, absolutely.
Give me a second, bro.
100%.
Oh yeah, you fine, man. The cinematography in this movie's great. Don't y'all agree?
I do.
Yeah, there's some good shots in here for sure.
Everything is.
I love when she was looking through the hole in the wall.
Yeah, doing the
hotel. And the way the camera zoomed into her eyes, stuff like that.
I feel like when the special effects, there was one guy who got really excited one day, came into the office, and he was like, "Hey, I figured out how to make it look like people are breathing out smoke. Let's do that as much as possible. People breathing out smoke, because that happens like 18 times in this movie. But it's a really cool effect, man. I hope they didn't have a dry ice cube like in their fucking mouth, like like dying inside, losing their tongues and shit. You know what I'm saying? Fuck it, let's start the ratings then, man. That's where we were going. So out of 5 possible slips, let's throw it over to Dylan.
You want me to start first?
I was just throwing it back to you. You can pick whoever goes first.
I'll start it first, I guess. Out of 5 slips, and anyone in the chat, throw your rating down below. It looks like we got a quick 5.
Comic book universe.
Nice.
Yeah. That might screw us up with the 6'9" with that 5 in there. But
yeah. So let's start with Fabe. Let's go back to Dylan.
Just do a 4. I'll do a 4 out of 5.
4. Okay.
Especially, I've never seen the original cut, but the director's cut, I think there's so much they could do with it, so much more they can, I wish we could have saw what they would have done with the trilogy. 4 out of 5. We'll go around Fable. What do you think, man?
I'm gonna go with you, Dylan. Four out of five slips. For me, it's really a 3.5 as a film. Um, but I bring it up because the designs and the creature effects in this movie have stuck with me over the years, and that's got to count for something, right? The ideas, the Midian, the whole underground monster thing. Me being such a big fan of Hellraiser, like I said earlier, this feels like an extension of a Cenobite world to me. Like it feels like the Cenobites come from here. That maybe Baphomet is Leviathan at the same time. I don't know, but I love it. It has stuck with me. So because of that, I'm bumping up 3.5 to a 4. So I agree with you, Dylan. 4 slips.
Nice.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Scarpa, what do you think, bro?
I think I'm going to conform as well. I was going to give it 3.75, but I'm going to go with you guys. I'm going to say a 4 because I think there's enough here in the story that I really like the whole world building aspect of it. I like David Cronenberg's villain. It was good to have that villain in there, and I just like overall. I like the movie. I thought some of the stuff at the end was a little cartoony. Overall, it kept me entertained. It kept me engrossed. I was interested in the whole thing, and it just kept my attention. I like that. I mean, it's I think a very inventive movie that maybe could have gone a little bit farther, but I liked what it did. So 4 for me as well.
Nice. For me, and I don't mean to be the Debbie Downer, but like I said before, the story drags for me. Yeah, the story drags for me. The production design, the cinematography, the special effects, they're very incredibly well executed. But the story for me is still where it stumbles, right? Like, I feel like the vision Clive had was really big. And it didn't quite get realized at first. And even with this director's cut, it doesn't quite get put together. I want to read the original novella now. I want somebody to do this series with Clive's input and elaborate on this because there's a lot of potential here. This doesn't quite meet it. It has clashing tones of fantasy, horror, and comedy and camp, right?
Mm-hmm.
It has some solid performances, some weak-ass performances too. It's got a lack of chemistry for me in its core central romance, which makes the melodrama less effective for me. So for me, great special effects, solid music at times, but like the story, it tries to reach too far at the inappropriate times sometimes. I'm gonna go with 2.69. I hate to bring down the rating. Luckily, the professor gave us a 5, but I'm going to go with 2.69. I got to keep it real. I got to keep it station. I got to keep it pop.
Keep the 69 going.
Come on, man.
Plus, that detective was the dullest detective in the world. That guy couldn't figure out anything. I mean, he's going to the thing. Oh, look, there's a knife here. Well, what's that doing? Let me just kill you with it.
Professor gave it a 5.
Oh, the detective? Yeah, I thought that was weird too. Oki, when he killed them right in the middle of the raid on Midian. I'm like, you're just killing people out here. The cops, nobody's noticing you doing this stuff. Yeah, it kind of got hokey at the end. Definitely.
He's just somehow able to put it all on Boone, and they just believe it.
Always.
Even when he was dead.
This movie should be more subtle at times, right? Like the bombastic nature can still work, but I don't know, man. I just wish we could go back in time and let Clive do what the fuck he really wanted to do from the beginning to the fucking release.
Yeah. Let me pose this question, and you guys can answer it. Did this movie come out 5 years too late? Do you think this would have been bigger if it came out in the mid '80s as opposed to 1990 when the movie started?
Bigger also if it was made right.
I'm just saying. I think it would have been.
It's either 5 years too late or it's 25 years too early.
Too early, because the whole universe building part is working perfectly right now. like you guys said it yourself, show, Netflix, Hulu, whatever,
Yeah.
it would work. So 20, yeah, I agree with that. Too early.
And the other thing I forgot to mention is the main character's name is Aaron Boone, which is the current manager of the Yankees. Right, Fable?
Right.
How weird. Is this a prequel to the Yankees season?
When they were saying, oh, it's Aaron Boone, I'm like, that's not Aaron Boone.
Aaron fucking Boone, baby.
That's not
Aaron
Angel.
fucking Boone. Don't even say his name.
Oh, don't worry. You still remember 2003. Don't worry about it, man. We remember 2004. Don't worry about it. We lost to the Marlins anyway in 2003. Don't worry about it.
So what we got? 4s all around and a 2.69 from Robbie.
I'm sorry, man.
5 from Professor, 3 from Sammy, 3.5 from Gary. I think Zach gave it a 1.
See, I'm not.
Whoa! He didn't finish it though. He said Two Gun gave it a 3.
Oh, Herm's so nice.
Yes, he is. And Herm gives the show a 5.69. And Vern gives it a 3.25. Super inventive, crapload of amazing designs, dope world building. Story was hard to follow at times, and characters were kind of weak. Dug it though. Yeah, there's a lot of characters to keep up with at times.
I think there's a story here. It's a really good one, but you know, just like George Lucas, he needs Loris Kasdan to come in and, you know, clean it up a little bit.
That's a fucking threat. Like, I want you to mark this down right now. This time. Okay.
What's the
lawyer on the phone?
I'd say that's an average score of 3.69.
Oh, right, 3.69. Another goodie.
I'm right there with you, Verno. Right there with you. Vernon's on the spot there. Like that's really. There's way too much of that female lead. She's terrible in this movie. And we get 5 minutes. We get her whole fucking song, man. Her whole fucking song.
And the whole tune.
Jadina has to do like half of his song in Luke Cage.
Probably when the guy fucking stopped watching it. I was gonna fucking turn it off. Although to be fair, I don't think you guys loved the chick in fucking what's that fucking vampire that flies crazy movie? Night Flyer. You liked the girl in that. She sucked too. This girl was no worse than that girl, but you loved that girl.
I'm just saying I wouldn't turn down her advances at a bar.
Oh,
yeah.
That's all I said.
She stepped the
Plus,
pinhead.
she didn't sing.
And I was like, what are you doing? How you
that's singing, man. That's and everybody's going, fucking best thing I ever heard. Sucked. Fucking sucked. Just the way I feel.
So that wraps up the review for NightBreed. Clive Barker's NightBreed. Next week we'll be taking a break and then coming back strong the week after to start Horror Fest, kicking it off with a banger, Toby Hooper's Life Force. So that will be fun for sure. We all, I'm sure, are gonna love Toby Hooper's Life Force. If you've already seen it,
I haven't seen it. I haven't seen it in over 10 years, so I'm hoping.
It's got lots.
There's only one key reason to remember why you love it.
It's got 80s Bush.
That's right.
And lots of it.
Anyone got some show and tell? You got anything today, Faye?
I do.
Yeah.
No,
I
know.
Yeah, Scarpat. I know he's got
Fable go.
a mountain there. Yeah. Mine's is short. I actually got all this stuff today.
Yeah.
I got a few books in. Just 2. I got the. Sorry, guys. I got the Edge of Spider-Verse, Spider UK variant here, like that.
Shit.
And trying to get this book. It was amazingly sold out. Robbie, you'd be proud of me. Dark Spaces Wildfire, number 2. This book was like sold out in Midtown. It's crazy. So I had to go on my comic shop to grab this. Yeah, this thing is selling out, man. Good.
Mm.
I also got my Star Wars Darth Vader Obi-Wan figure.
That's sitting in that pile of loot with the big bad toy store.
Yeah, I figured I'd get one of these because this is one of the newer Hasbro figure, so it's got that good articulation. Never
It's a
had a
big
Vader
ass-
figure.
That's probably the best one they got.
That's a big ass
Yeah.
head, man. Is that Darth Helmet
Yeah,
from
yeah,
Spaceballs?
I don't know. It is though. You're right. Maybe
Can
the
you
shoulders
can
are
you
small.
put a Rick Moranis head on him?
So I got that, and I also got another
Vader
Star
gets
Wars
big head.
thing. Back in the days, they used to make this role-playing game called Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic, and it was one of the best video games I'd ever played at that point. And they haven't released it in years. And a little company called Limited Run re-released it, so I got the Switch
they
version.
re-released that on the Switch.
Yeah, Knights of the Old Republic. Fantastic.
I heard they were
Star Wars
remaking
story. No, I got halted, man. It was a whole big deal with the company, and it came with this cool little trading card. It was awesome.
Dude,
It's
I'm gonna
got
have
foil.
to pick that up, bro. Is it on the PS4?
You actually can't pick it up. It's from a company called Limited Run, so you got to pre-order it, and pre-orders closed like a year ago.
Where?
So whoever ordered it got it, and that's it.
And then
You might be able to buy that. Is it in the store though? I think it's in the store.
No, this is not in the store. It's actually numbered.
Oh, really? It's not in the store either?
This is number 122. Yeah, no, these you have to pre-order. If you don't get them in before cutoff, that's it.
No, what I'm
Whatever
saying
they
is
order.
is it in the Nintendo digital store to download?
Oh
Download
yeah. This
digital.
game is
Yeah.
digital. Yeah, no, for sure. But they don't. It's only digital. That's the thing. This is the only physical copy of it.
No, you know what he's trying to do, Scarpat? He's trying to support that physical, like we always say, man.
Hell yeah.
Right.
I do.
That's it.
Appreciate
That's all I got.
Robbie, you got anything, my man?
Bro, you know I got something, man. All right, first of all, I picked up this book this week, and I started reading it yesterday. I'm about 70 pages through, but I got Carrie, the first Stephen King book. I've never read this. So I finished Dark Tower a few weeks ago, and I've read a few more books since then, so I figured I'm tackling 300-page books right now after the Dark Tower. Yeah, small book. So Carrie. So there is that. I picked up some Blu-rays this week. Got this shitty ass Scream 5 movie because
why did you buy it?
Well, Amazon had it on sale, and I'm one of those dudes. Like, I have even the Nightmare on Elm Street movies I don't like. I own all the Hellraiser movies I don't like. I own
that
the
fucking guy, that shape kid who killed people
you
in
went
the
too far
hospital.
with Hellraiser.
Might as well.
Well, you have no choice on the Hellraisers.
Got the slip.
All come together on a pack.
Yeah, that movie did kind of suck. But.
Then I picked up The Town That Dreaded Sundown.
Scream 5 is fucking awesome, Scarpad.
I picked up The Town That Dreaded Sundown because this is referenced in the first Scream movie, which I just watched because I'm getting ready for Horror Fest. So
it's a good movie.
I realized
it's got Don Wells.
There you go. It's got Don Wells,
and
it was referenced by Dewey and somebody else in Scream, so it made me realize, oh man, I still haven't bought that. And then this is my favorite Blu-ray pickup of the week, and this is going to be January 2023 PCP movie night. But I got Cyborg with the slip from Scream Factory, y'all.
It's a good
Come
slip.
on. Van Damme classic cheese cannon film.
Robbie. Gotta
Come
do
on.
Cyborg, man.
All right.
I mean, we gotta do a Van Damme night.
So speaking of like cheesy ass giant action shit, I got Prophet number 10, which means all I need is number 8. So I'm really looking for number 8, y'all. Someone let me know. EC Archives, Dark Horse has been doing these reprints in paperback. I got Haunted Fear Volume 2 that came out recently. Amazing art from people like Jack Davis, Graham Ingalls, Al Feldstein. Like good stuff. Lots of words, but the art is worth it. From our good friends at Dynamite, they sent me this Elvira Classic Years Omnibus Volume 1. So Elvira had a long-running comic in the 90s, right? Black and white comic. That's what this collects. So this is Volume 1. It's already out. They sent me this hardcover because Dynamite's awesome. It has all those full-color covers and everything. Elvira fans, y'all really need to get this, and I'll go ahead and point out that right now on Indiegogo, Dynamite is crowdfunding Volume 2 of this book. So you can get Volume 2, you can get Volume 1, you can get other cool things like CGC books, metal variant covers, photo covers, all kinds of cool stuff, including signed books over at the Indiegogo. Check that out. And the final thing, This is the best pickup I've had in months, y'all. You know that I'm a Motu fan. Masters of the Universe. Fable's real big into Transformers. I like getting Transformers too, but not like Fable does. But Motu's my jam. And Brooks and Jelani, they like getting the origin shit. But for me, you know, I like doing the vintage, right? Y'all, I got something today or last week. I actually bought this last week. I had this when I was a kid, and now I fucking finally have it again. It's goddamn Spydor.
Ah, yeah.
Which is the fucking
Nice.
vehicle. Yeah, like it's the evil vehicle. I'm missing one of the guns.
That's dope.
And we're not quite sure if it still works. We got to put some batteries in it. Yeah, well, it's supposed to walk and shit, right?
Right.
Dudes, look at that. Spydor. This is as big as my fucking cat. Like, it's awesome. I put it next to her and she was like, what the fuck is that? Get that. Awesome. I loved this thing, so I'm super excited to have this back. Just need to get this one gun right there and see if it works, because it does have some corrosion. But y'all, we got this at an estate sale, and there's more Motu show and tell to come. So y'all just wait, man. Y'all, that's what I got. But
maybe you can get that gun from Two Gun Pedro.
Maybe then he'd be One Gun Pedro. That'd be a little bit sad, wouldn't it?
That's it.
That's it, brother.
All right. Let's see. So, man, I got something cool. It was on sale. Scarpad actually told me it was on sale, and Robbie knows I've been wanting this for a while. I got the freaking.
Ooh, nice.
Fuck yeah, bro.
Very good.
Phantasm Spear collection.
That's sick. Yep.
And Amazon didn't bash it sending it there. It's nice.
Right?
Yeah, the only bummer is
usually bash the shit out.
You either got to pick to display it like this, or you display it, just you take it out of
I got mine out on the Blu-ray shelf, and I got the ball on its own displayed.
That's what that's what I'm most likely gonna do. I was waiting to really unbox it and everything on the show, anyways. But I like you open it, you got the.
Oh, dope! The car, yeah.
So if you throw that thing real hard, could you impale it into somebody's skull?
What was that?
If you throw that real hard, could you impale that into somebody's skull?
I don't know, man. You want me to come to Boston?
I am in Boston, so yeah, you can come to Boston.
You can throw it from there, Dylan.
I know where you're in Boston.
Tell them where to go.
It's dope. It's got a little stand too, man. It's so good.
Yeah, the stand, that little clear stand. I'll take it. I'll put it up.
You get a cat or something, just throw it the cat. Buttons.
The best way to own this collection, that's without a doubt. So I'd already owned Phantasm 2 on Blu-ray. The Scream Factory released it. I own the first one on Blu-ray. Do I want to just buy 3 from 5 separate, or do I want to just get the set? Like, man.
That's dope.
Phantasm 2 is I absolutely love so much, and that has.
I gotta say though, I hate those fucking when they put them in pages like that because
that's the only downfall about this set.
I got a couple of them that sometimes they don't even come out of there. You gotta shake the thing and try to get it out.
$65 though for 5 movies with a bunch of special features. 5 movies, a bonus disc, and the spear. That's a pretty good deal though.
It's dope, man. Yeah. It's so dope.
With Phantasm 2, you get new 4K scan of the original camera negative and new director's cut with additional gore. So
I want to say that 2 and 3 are the disc ones of the Scream Factories. I want to say, but I'm not sure.
No, because I have the Scream Factory.
Okay.
And Scream Factory only did 2.
I thought they did 3 as well. Okay, my bad.
And I looked. There's not even a 2K scan. It doesn't even say. And it doesn't say anything about director's cut because this is not rated. This version, the one that I have, is rated R. So this is the best way to own it, even over the Scream Factory.
Nice.
Cool.
And then 3, But then you get that freaking bonus disc too, which is cool.
Nice.
And if anybody wants to dive back deep into Phantasm, be sure to check out the PCP Movie Night Horror Fest movie review franchise review that we did 2 years ago over at Pop Culture Philosophers. Dylan was there, weren't you?
Yep.
It's a fun night talking about all five. I think
me and you were, and I was super jealous.
Me and you were the only ones who were like the slightest bit forgiving of Ravager.
Yeah. Because I love, a lot of people hate on 3, and or was it? Yeah, they hate on 3, but they love 4. Surprise! And that was the one where I like 3, but 4 was where it started to kind of go a little bit for me. But,
I think they all get worse, but honestly, I like all of them.
I like them all too.
Isn't that cool though, bro? Isn't that cool to set up, man? Oh my god!
I wish it had the drill.
Yep, it's the drill.
Yeah, drill.
Dude,
that's dope though.
Don't worry, they're gonna get that on the next box set.
I hope not.
So you have to buy it again.
It's gonna, the 4K set's gonna come with the drill, and then it's gonna have a little blood splatter on the end of it, just to make it. But yeah, dude, this is gonna be a nice addition on.
Bro, I'm glad you got that. It's upside down, by the way.
That should look.
You have it upside down. I'm not lying. You have it
on your Christmas tree coming December.
No,
it's upside down, bro. I promise you.
No, it's not.
No, I'm just fucking with you.
I was gonna say you don't put it in one way.
I'm just fucking with you, man.
You could use that to like eat.
Once you get them in, by the way, don't try to pull them out, bro. Like, trust me.
No, I've pulled them out once already.
So you already opened. This was a kayfabe opening.
No, that's why, man. I have to make sure my shit's good. Otherwise, I would send it back to Amazon. I said I wasn't taking it out and displaying it until I.
Amazon screws you through the door.
Dude, Comic Book University, man. We're telling you. Last week we were talking about how what's his name, Clancy Brown, or is it Tom Clancy? It's Clancy Brown. He should be the new tall man going forward. Yeah. Keep doing the story.
That's fine, yeah. So I got the 4K.
I kind of wish these studios would just use the fucking poster art. What is wrong with it?
Yeah, that was the only bummer.
But it's on the reversible, isn't it?
I don't know. No, I don't think so.
Yeah,
there it is.
That's it right there.
I'd rather have
that's the poster art, man.
The building, the apartment building.
I want this as the slip, and this is the art here.
Yeah, but that ain't how they do it, man.
Yeah, but it should be because of how they fucking set it up.
How about this? How about if they just gave you one fucking cover, no slip? Okay, let's be thankful for what we got.
That's
all right.
They've been doing the 4Ks. They have been doing the 4Ks like that. That's why I wish that the first one had the regular artwork.
That's the movie cover, isn't it?
That is.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's why I wish the Child's Play had the original artwork to go with it.
I'm sorry, brother. I didn't.
Dude, are they ever gonna come out with a Nightmare on Elm Street kind of thing?
Next year, probably.
I want one of those so bad. I need a Freddy collection.
Oh
man, they need to, man. They got a bare bone collection right now, man. Bare bone collection. The best collection is still that fucking DVD one, where when you put all of them together, it makes Freddy.
Yeah, this is a beautiful 4K scan.
Yeah, no, that's awesome, dude.
Like the first movie is like if you already own the Blu-ray, the Scream Factory, I'd be like, you're fine with that. Honestly, you could wait until this goes on sale. But 2 and 3, it is definitely worth it. They look gorgeous.
Well, yeah, I mean the second one is set in a very colorful factory.
Yeah. This one.
I like the second one. Second one gets hate. I like it.
3's a personal favorite of mine. I'll tell you that.
I love them. I love them all, man. I love them all.
I love them all more than I did. The last time we talked about this one. By the way, Dylan's Horror Show. We've already covered all of the Chucky movies, so check that show out on the replay.
All right, first we'll get out of the way with the folks here.
Here we go.
Chucky's.
Thanks to Robbie. I got the ice cream man book.
Blame Robbie.
Hell yeah, Robbie.
I need one. $26 though, man. You can't.
I'm gonna make a bold statement here that I've never said, but I'm ready to say it. Greatest comic book of the 21st century.
Yeah.
So far.
I also got my Child's Plays 4Ks. I got the bonus.
You didn't even open up the first fucking one. That's why you didn't know it had a reversible cover. See, Dylan, he doesn't even know if his disc. He doesn't even know if his discs are fucked.
He ain't even gonna do nothing with those.
All right, so here's the bonus slip covers for 2 and 3.
Are you gonna?
Oh, Dylan didn't get those, huh?
No.
Is this the box set?
He got it from. He got it directly from
the 5 posters.
Factory. I got mine from Amazon.
Okay. All right, so let's go. What's next?
I'm trying to
4K Red Dawn came out this week.
Oh, nice.
Wolverines.
Dude, you gotta let me know how that looks.
I hear it looks good.
How does Patrick Swayze look? That's all I care about.
You might see a few movies in here for me getting ready to do some, stuff. So here's the 4K on Life Force.
Let's go. Life Force.
Bro, they did a 4K of fucking Life Force. That's awesome. How does a Canon film get fucking a 4K before anybody else?
That's the one you want too, because
Matilda. I have this on Screen Factory Blu-ray, but
but
Matilda
it doesn't come with the director's
Matilda
cut.
May in 4K. Woo-hoo.
Yeah,
but the screen doesn't come with the director's cut, Dylan?
Yeah, you want the original version comes with just the theatrical, and that comes with the director's cut and the regular cut on Blu-ray. So
I bet there are more boobs in that one, man.
That's the one you want, and I got mine. My 4K is coming tomorrow.
I think I've had every version of this movie that's ever come out since the dawn of time, and this is by far the best-looking version of Superman the movie in 4K. This is not the director's cut; it's the theatrical cut, but it looks phenomenal. I mean,
it's not called the director's cut; it's the extended edition. Richard Donner approves of the theatrical release.
Right. But it's very well.
Oh yeah, man.
Done.
That's dope. I thought you were gonna say Debbie Does Dallas that you've had in every format.
And I picked up Dr. Strangelove or How I Love
nice.
in 4K.
Here we go.
Get that stark 4K photography there. 4K on the Van Helsing, which I didn't have at all. And I love this take. I mean,
weird stretch, man.
I think it's probably the best.
I do too, man. But I feel ashamed when I bought it on Blu-ray. I should have just kept that on DVD.
It's the best tribute I think the Universal Monsters out there.
Huh. Okay.
That's where they went egregious with CGI, but it's okay. It was pretty.
A movie I
guess we're gonna have to be doing Van Helsing sometime soon in 2023, Dylan.
I didn't have this, and
Van Helsing.
This movie was like $9. So I figured, what the fuck? Cloverfield on 4K.
Nice.
Oh, cool.
Nice.
You can throw up even more in 4K.
That's right. Just because I got the shirt and I didn't have it, I had to get the pieces.
Oh, nice.
And this is the Grindhouse release on this.
Grindhouse does beautiful releases.
Yeah, me and Dylan have that. That's beautiful in it. It's got the score.
It's got the score, but the thing I love on it the best is that tribute to the 42nd Street. I watched that whole documentary the other night with William Lustig and all the Larry Cohen. It's a great documentary about 42nd Street and the Grindhouse films.
Oh man, I haven't watched. That's on there.
That's on here, yes.
Oh man, I didn't watch that yet. I have to watch that.
You should watch. It's got Sam Sherman, Bill Lustig, Larry Cohen, Frank Hinlader from Basket Case, Buddy Giovanni, Jeff Lieberman, and a ton of other ones, and a few Scream Queens. Really good.
I'm going to watch that documentary, it's going to wind up. My Amazon purchases are going to flag me on an FBI fucking list.
Yeah. But there you go. And of course, another Robbie thing. I had to get this because of Robbie.
Wow.
Nice.
What did you get?
I've never seen it, so I picked up Nightmare Sisters from Arrow. Is this Arrow?
Oh, you're going to love that.
Vinegar Syndrome.
Make sure you watch that by yourself.
Oh, you didn't get the slip with it?
No slip, unfortunately. Once the movie's been out for a while.
You got it from
once the movie's been out for a while, they don't have the slips anymore. So
if you get it from Amazon, you'll never get the slip with it.
But I think I paid like $14 for it.
You have to get it.
That's so worth it.
Vinegar Syndrome, you have to get it directly from their site to get the slip.
Watch that alone, Scarpat. Don't watch that with
I was going to say, yeah, watch that alone with the bottle of Jergens.
What did the kids say today? NSFW? Is that what they say?
Not safe for anything.
Not safe
I
for
picked
work.
up the original Tales from the Crypt and Vault of Horror double feature from Screen Factory.
Yeah. Screen
Okay.
Factory.
Do you love how he just raw dogs this shit out of the Amazon package and doesn't even check this shit out to make sure that the disc is okay?
Gotta check it, Scarpack. Gotta check it.
He's not gonna open them for a
the
while.
this is Dr. Terror's House of Horrors.
The only
Another
reason he would
BBC
open it is to upload it on the
anthology.
One day he's gonna open up a movie and be like, God damn it, it's not in here.
Right.
I do watch these movies.
That's
you
how I
know,
feel about
eventually.
Oh
figures.
no, I know you do.
I only open them if they have a digital code, though. Or if they're shaking, baby. If it's shaking.
Yeah, if it's shaking, you better open that shit immediately, man.
Oh yeah, immediately.
One of the boutique video labels I'm learning to love is Film Detective, and this is Battle of the Worlds with Claude Rains, 1960s Italian
super cool, man.
space opera.
Fuck
But,
yeah. I've only ever heard of that movie, man. Holy shit.
Yeah, and this is a new 4K scan, and it's got commentary. I think it has the original Italian on here too, or English.
This is one of those movies in 2005, like Rockin' Robbie at like 24 years of age is like fucking sending emails to TCM and AMC like, why are you not playing these movies?
Yeah, this is basically Armageddon, kind of sort of. And then because we're doing it, and I've never seen this, I picked up American Mary.
Okay.
So hopefully, I like that.
Nice.
Yeah,
Dude,
I'm
did you
excited
guys
to check
see
out.
that there's a bump?
It's the chick from Ginger Snaps, man. That's super dope.
Did you
I've
guys
never
see
seen
there's,
this. It's another movie that I've been wanting to see. I haven't seen it. I think it is available on 4K, but it's ridiculously priced. So I got this for $5 with slip, Midsummer.
Nice.
It's a good movie, man.
I wanted the 4K.
I would
the 4K
just
is
get
like
the Blu-ray for $5.
$5.
I had to get that because that's really good. I love that movie.
A movie I did break down.
Wait, is that the theatrical or the extended like director's
It's the theatrical.
cut?
Yeah, I think it's just the theatrical.
The director's cut's really good on that, man. It's a little bit longer, but it's worth it.
A movie that I haven't seen, but I wanted to see. I could have got this for $6 on Blu-ray. I sponged it. I got this for $12. Ooh, The Witch in 4K.
Yeah. The 4K was only 12.
Yeah, it was like $12.99.
I got the Blu-ray for like $5 last year.
I've heard this
Dude,
movie's good.
it
looks.
and you got
really
the
good.
slip with it because I didn't get the slip with my Blu-ray. I would have gotten that over that. So I love The Witch.
Another movie I've never seen. It's very divisive. I know it's one of Dylan's favorite movies. Jordan Peele's Us in 4K.
Nice.
Okay, yeah, I got this for like $11, so it wasn't too bad.
Man, have any of you guys seen Dark City? Professor Bill's.
Yeah, Dark City's very good. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's
I
okay.
also got Get Out on 4K.
Nice.
Yeah, we'll have to review that after Horror Fest.
And then also Robbie kind of influenced me because he said he's watching.
Dude, Scarpad's like Horror Fest? Y'all fuck.
Yeah. You released a list and you
Bill.
You know, shit, man.
I said I didn't have a lot of them. I went out and bought them. So these movies I bought for a couple of reasons. Like Robbie said, I was filling a hole in my collection. I was also worried because some of these are like, I think, Weinstein Disney movies and stuff, 20th century. We may never see them again, and that's the time to buy them.
Right.
But I was missing a lot of these movies, and that's my Joel and Ethan Coen. So I finished The Man Who Wasn't There, Billy Bob Thornton.
Nice.
One of my favorite Coen films, Burn Without Readings.
Yeah, that's
I fucking love that movie so much, man.
Because you can have a dick on your saddle too. The Dick Machine. No Country for Old Men.
Oh fuck yeah, man.
Yeah.
Well, another one of my favorite movies, The Men Who Stare at Goats. I love that movie.
Okay.
Also love Oh Brother, Where Art Thou?
Fuck yeah.
I wish, and as soon as I bought these are all coming out in 4K next week. But I probably won't upgrade. And finally, one that Robbie said he really likes. I watched this once. I can't remember, but I thought this was like the best movie I ever saw. A Serious Man.
Oh, I love that fucking movie so much, man. Oh my god.
This is one that really flies under the radar for.
That's their most personal film, man. Like they've said that. Joel and Ethan both said that. Like that is about their father. They are the kids in that movie. Like the whole scene where the kid gets high before his fucking what's it called when you become a man in fucking
yeah
Judaism when you're 12, 13, what the fuck is it called? God damn it, I can't remember the name of it. Bar mitzvah, right? Like, but they're high, so he gets high in the bathroom before he has to go and read that shit, that Hebrew.
Yeah.
Like, it just all that shit's real. So like, that's their most personal fucking film. I love that goddamn movie, man.
So I think I got pretty much all their movies. I think
I've never seen that one. I never.
Maybe Inside Llewyn Davis.
I don't have Button Fink yet, but maybe eventually.
You have to put those on the Plex. I'll have to check those out. So a
Some of
couple
them
of those Cohen. The only one I've seen out of that was Burn After Reading. I think.
Did you see the Burn After Reading's great? Hail Caesar's great, but do you have Inside Llewyn Davis?
Caesar's. Which one?
Inside Llewyn Davis.
No.
That's one with Oscar Isaac. He's a folk singer in the 60s in like the Greenwich Village or something. That movie's fucking brilliant. So amazing.
I just watched, it was a new movie. I know I put it in the horror chat, but that movie, it's based on a true story with Viggo Mortensen and Colin Farrell, 13 Lives. That was a good movie about these Taiwan kids. They were on a soccer team. Yeah. They leave their practice and go in this cave, and it starts to flood, and then they get stuck in it for weeks on end, and it's fucking crazy, man. It's a really good movie though. If you guys are I like Viggo Mortensen, I always love him for being Aragorn. So when I saw him in it, I was like, I'm gonna check this out, man.
What did he play?
Really good. And then I went and I watched the David Cronenberg movie that he's in. What the fuck is it called? That new one. Fable, you're muted.
Oh, History of Violence. Cronenberg and Viggo Mortensen.
Yeah, I love that one. What's the new one that he just
Crimes of the Future?
Crimes of the Future. I watched that. Kind of weird. It ends kind of on a cliffhanger type thing. I felt
in a movie maybe in 2023. If we can do this for Dylan or whatever, this movie should be done. It's an off the wall fucking movie. I watched this the other night again. The Tingler with Vincent Price. This is such a fucking good movie for 50s horror. And basically, he's a doctor who finds out that people are made to be afraid and scream by this parasitic thing that's on their back. But as soon as the person screams, the parasite goes away and dies. He wants to harvest it. So he wants somebody that can be afraid but won't scream. So he finds this woman who's a deaf mute. And it's a great friggin' horror movie. We should. If you haven't seen it, watch.
I'll have to check that. I really want to see that Dark City, Professor. Whenever I get a chance, after Horror Fest, we'll have to get you on if you're down to. If you're free a Saturday in the next couple months, we'll review that. If Scarpad said that's a good one, I'll have to check that.
Which one, Dark City?
Yeah, I want to watch that now. I might watch that tonight.
Yeah, it was pretty good. It was
I'm looking at the Life Force Blu-ray. There's no director's cut on this, so I'm so glad. That's the biggest reason why I picked up the 4K is because I want to see the director's cut. Because Scream Factory had a version of the Blu-ray where you got both the regular and director's cut, and it got pulled back. It went out of print, and then it went back in print, but I guess it went out of print because there's something they pulled out of that director's cut. And even then, even the director's cut we got now is still not 100% what the one that we got on the first Scream Factory.
Well, the director's cut is 116 minutes. The original cut is 101 minutes. So 15 minutes
How long? 15?
15 minutes longer is the director's cut.
15 minutes? That's pretty good.
Is that what you're doing for Horror Fest? You're doing the director's cut?
I think we're going to do the theatrical cut. I don't think you're going to do
Yeah, most likely. I'm going to watch both because I've always wanted to see it, but the theatrical is always the most, whatever is most accessible is what we're going to just have to review. You know what I mean? There's exceptions with the Halloween 6, that you could probably do.
Life Force is on Life Force is on Shudder, I think, so that might be the director's cut on Shudder. Somebody's going to have to check.
Just watch whatever version you want. We'll talk about both, right?
Yeah.
I'll try to watch both.
True.
Yeah, well, it's gonna be hard unless you get that freaking Blu-ray or that 4K.
We got our ways, man.
I know. It's hard though sometimes to get them director's cuts. But dude, that would have been cool to see Life Force at the drive-in theater. When he was...
Not on NightBreed though. NightBreed, the director's cut was easy. Getting the original cut is hard.
So is She-Hulk worth watching, or should I bag it?
I liked episode 1, but it says 116 minutes on Shudder.
I would say worth watching for She-Hulk. The PCP review that we had with the Backlog Bros.
So yeah,
I don't know actually who are the Backlog Bros. With the PC was anyway. The fucking review that we did on PCP the other night, the consensus was 3.69 on
That's
episode.
not bad, because most of those guys never like anything, so that's pretty good. So.
Yeah,
well, Steph really likes it. I'll tell you that. That's one thing I know about Steph right now is that Steph loves.
Well, I guess there was supposed to be a lot of good conversations. You find out a lot of what was going on with the Hulk that you didn't see. I still would like to see the
You do.
the Hulk
You
treated-
do. Like
yeah.
to me, some of the most
Treated better.
fascinating moments were listening to the dialogue, trying to figure out like the journey of the Hulk with that we should have seen in a movie of how he becomes Smart Hulk.
Right.
He just kind of like briefly kind of goes through it.
Supposedly him and Tony locked themselves away in Mexico for like 2 years. Lou, I'd love
Something
to
like
see
that,
that
yeah.
movie.
Exactly. That'd be a great. That would be a Disney Plus show. Come on. It'd be like The Odd Couple in a bunker in
Iron
Mexico.
Man 4.
But they did completely ignore the 2008. Now, from what you've told me, Tim Roth is going to be in this series, right? Playing Abomination.
Yeah.
Will he
Yeah.
acknowledge?
They're referencing stuff from that Incredible Hulk film, because Bruce is trying to teach Jennifer that meditation. It's the same meditation technique that he learns from the dude in that movie.
Yeah. Well, we'll see how deep it goes into it.
And the blood's important.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you watch the extra episode of Sandman?
Not yet.
I was gonna say that
I'm
it
excited because
It's the
Dream
cat
of a
story.
Thousand Cats is one of my
Yeah.
favorite fucking issues of Sandman. So
That's what everybody says.
but
It's
that's
animated.
what it's referencing.
Yeah, it's that episode. It's that issue.
is that one and Calliope, which is another really good one.
I'm about to go watch that after this. I was just gonna say shit.
Which means they have two more stories to do in that book, right?
Oh, they got a lot more to go.
No, but I mean in that next phase.
Well, I think they'll start with I don't know if they'll do what the fuck was the other one? I don't know if they'll do Facade. Maybe they'll put that in there, but they'll definitely do Midsummer's Night because that was already set up in the first season. So I think this is gonna be second season.
Have you finished season 1?
Aside from the new one.
I'm on episode 9, I think I am.
Yeah. I've watched 10, so I haven't watched the newest one.
Oh,
Because they just released that yesterday.
I haven't watched the newest one because I just found out they released it.
I think it's only like half an hour, 40 minutes. It's not very long.
Yeah, but it's two of the stories. Dream of a Thousand Cats, they do animated, and then they do Calliope. They're two really good. Dream Country is 4 short stories, like single issue stories. That's what volume 3 is. So that tackles 2 of them.
I'm wondering if you see they put an extended cut for Jurassic World Dominion. I'm wondering if that's any good. If it changed.
Somebody I read said it made it a little bit better, but it still sucked.
I thought maybe they might add more like dinosaurs killing people and shit.
I think they added more
You can't
how
change
they
that
met.
storyline.
Yeah.
You can't change that shitty storyline.
I still haven't seen it, so I'm just waiting for it to
Where
hit digital.
where is it? Where is it on? Where's the extended version playing?
It's out now on 4K.
Oh,
No,
wow.
it hasn't come out in 4K yet.
Yeah, it is.
I think it's coming. But I don't think it's out yet.
Who carries Universal
I
movies?
thought it came out
That's
this.
a Universal thing.
I thought it came out on HBO Max or something, but maybe I don't know.
I thought it came out on physical this past week.
I probably won't buy it, so I didn't care.
Well, I'm gonna buy. I'm gonna.
I'll just wait for the box set. I don't have any of them on Blu
Yeah,
right now, so
you
I'll just
didn't
wait
like
for
it,
the box
Dylan. Why are you going to buy it if you didn't like it?
Well, I need to have them all.
No, you don't.
Same reason I bought this piece of shit.
Right,
Same reason I bought this.
No need.
Dude, I only have the first 3 Jurassic.
That fucking the shape stands in a hospital and
I only have the
can't,
first 3 on
and
DVD.
he gets
So I've been
his
waiting
ass
to
beat
buy
up.
a 4K set, which I'm gonna do now that they're all out.
Yeah, I have the 4K set without that one, I think.
Yeah, which I'd be fine with that actually. I'd be fine with that set.
Yeah,
Well, unless I give that or sell that to you, and I'll buy the 6 one.
Yeah, you could do that.
Wow.
But I do want to see that extended cut because that looks if they
That
depending
movie
on
was so disappointing because the way they set it up, it's like, wow, we're gonna see ecosystems go wild and monsters descend on cities, and they did all that in the first 5 minutes in a voiceover. You motherfuckers! And then the movie sucked after that. Had giant grasshoppers. What the fuck?
Exactly, man. Like you don't know about the completionist dilemma.
Yeah, and Robbie's not frozen. I don't care how much he stopped and like that. I know he's not frozen. He looks good though, but he's not frozen. It's close, but he's gonna smile or blink or something's gonna happen or a dildo's gonna jump out of the seat or
the dildo.
I knew the dildo would get him.
Man, I almost wish there was something to review next week too, man.
So what is everybody gonna do here with their time off from the Dylan Horror Show? Is everybody gonna do something special?
Take my girl out to eat or something, honestly.
Oh, that's mighty nice of you.
Maybe go see a
Where
movie.
you gonna take her? I understand that there's an E. coli break at
I
Wendy's
kind of want to
now.
go see that Bodies, but I don't know if I.
What's that all about?
I don't know.
Body.
Oh no.
I try to go.
You could go see that bad CGI lion movie.
But yeah, Dylan, we're off next week.
Yeah.
What, 2 weeks from now, September 5th or September 3rd? What is it, man?
September 3rd, we will be doing Toby Hooper's Life Force to kick off Horror Fest, baby.
Doesn't that look awesome?
Then hell yeah, dude. Then you're gonna.
And big in that man.
Then you're gonna go.
I am pretty sure, by the way, on the TeePublic site for Pop Culture Philosophers, I'm pretty sure we got the Horror Fest shirt up. Manny came up with a logo. It's really gnarly, and it says Dylan's Horror Show, PCP. It's cool. It's not the one that has all the dates on the back or whatever. I don't know if we're going to do that one, but we do have a Horror Fest shirt available.
Do we? Nice.
Yes.
I just saw Maverick the other day. I watched 3 movies at 13 Lives, at Crimes of the Future, and then I watched Top Gun Maverick.
Did you watch that?
I liked Maverick better than I liked the first one.
Well, yeah, because it doesn't have that annoying song. My wife used to hate that song. That take my breath away. Every 2 seconds it would come on, make you want to shoot your head off.
Yeah, there's a good amount of movies to get y'all ready for Horror Fest, so y'all get to work on it. There's a lot of people, I haven't watched it, but I know a lot of people say, and I've seen adults even, not just for kids, that there's a really good Netflix Jurassic Camp Cretaceous, and it's got up to like season 4. So I've heard big Jurassic Park fans say it's pretty good if you're like.
It's a show?
Yeah, it's an animated show.
Oh.
In the Jurassic World line. But yeah, so anything y'all got going on you guys want to talk about before we get out of here?
I'll probably just go watch Mega Crocosaurus or something.
Huh.
Of course.
No Rockin' Robbie live tomorrow night. We're on a break for 2 weeks as well as PCP movie night because we're getting ready for Horror Fest. But join us Thursday night for our review of episode 2 of She-Hulk. Right, Fable?
Yeah, definitely. We'll be on the She-Hulk episode review and discussion show every Thursday night are we still doing 10 p.m.? Yeah, 10 p.m., right?
Yeah. Right Eastern, after your show.
Well, that's the thing. I'm going on hiatus with that show because of the She-Hulk show and the Dylan's Horror Show. So
we might move the time back then. I don't know. We'll have to see what Jelanie's schedule is. We'll see.
Yeah. So no Fable's got you covered. No Blame Fable. Those are all coming in probably September. I'll probably relaunch everything and play with some things. Maybe we'll move some things around. But yeah, Definitely Rocket Robbie, the She-Hulk review show, and Dylan's horror show, man. That's my plans going
Which
forward.
I know Faye will gonna be there for some of them Horror Fest
Oh,
shows.
Life
I
Force?
hope at least maybe
Yeah,
one or a
brother.
couple, whatever you're able to make. And see though, yeah, Professor Bill watched all 4 seasons with his kids. It's really fun.
Nice. Oh yeah.
Eventually I'd like to check it out myself, but just gotta get the time. Now I got a whole list of movies to watch.
This looks so beautiful.
Hell yeah. I can't
Actually, I
wait.
think I might go upstairs and watch that movie with the 2 dudes and the shitter that just dropped. I think it's called Glorious, a Glory Hole or something. With it's got the guy J.K. Simmons, just his voice. Yeah,
Unsure.
talking to the dude in the next stall, and that somehow is gonna be an hour and a half of riveting
That's what it's about.
fucking psychoticness. I'm hoping, and then I might watch She-Hulk now. And then Disney. Can Disney make a fucking show that's over 35 fucking minutes long? Apparently not. Because Obi-Wan was fucking 35 minutes. Fucking all these other shows like 35 minutes. The show that wasn't 35 fucking minutes was fucking, something like Moon Knight. They didn't have any fucking Moon Knight in it. But that went on for an hour. And WandaVision, which was okay to a certain point, but I hated those fucking kids in fucking WandaVision. I hate them in fucking Doctor Strange. They're annoying. Now, some people might think this is a stream of fucking consciousness. I'm not actually thinking about or saying anything. And they would be right. But hopefully soon, I'm looking to launch a science fiction review show. Hopefully some of you guys might appear on. Stay tuned. We're doing some science fiction. Good stuff.
Scarpad's sci-fi show. I like it.
If you think I'm fucking scary here, just fucking wait.
Call me, Scarpad. Call me. We need to. I want to jump on the sci-fi show for sure.
Yeah, don't call me. Don't call me.
Call Robbie too. Make sure you call Robbie. Robbie first.
I just did a fucking greatest sci-fi movies episode yesterday. Jesus, I love
I'll have to
sci-fi.
watch.
Anyway,
Not that.
I keep hearing the sad, gory as fuck. I haven't gotten a chance to check it out yet, though.
I watched the first 20 minutes of it. Yeah, not really. It's not gory as fuck. It's gory. But...
Yeah, older sci-fi movies I think he wants to do.
sorry, Herm. Sorry.
There's too many.
I was working on a nice piece for you today, though, Herm, because Herm's got a mystery box coming. And if anybody saw my Tapeworm Boy piece I put on Instagram, that's Herm's. So I was very excited with that because I did a different technique where I used a Sharpie that was new and an old Sharpie to give me like a dry brush effect. I don't know. It's so whatever. That's yours, Herm. It's coming your way.
Yes, I'm hoping to do sci-fi from the 50s to today. So.
Nice.
We'll see what happens.
All right. Well, it looks like we got a great, we're taking a week off from Dylan's Horror Show. We're taking some time off on PCP Movie Night and Rockin' Robbie Live, but it's all right because we're coming back with a bang for Horror Fest. And it's going to be great, y'all. Right?
Oh, yeah.
So there's no Rockin' Robbie tomorrow night either.
No Rockin' Robbie tomorrow night. No. You know what I'm doing tomorrow night? You know what I'm doing tomorrow all day long? Jack shit. I haven't had a day like that in a while. I'm just going to do jack shit. I might watch Scream 3. I've not been looking forward to it, but, it's coming. I'm getting ready for Horror Fest, man. I've been taking notes. I got this shit on lock, man. We're ready. We're ready.
Oh, yeah.
Just waiting on Dylan to come back and end the show.
Dylan, 5 minutes into it, you couldn't hold it for that long, Dylan. What are you doing back there? The dog's not there. No more peanut butter, man. What's going on?
Just remember, wherever you go, there you are.
That's right.
Yeah.
I miss Dylan's dog.
I bet we all do. And don't. By the way, I was nominated for his.
I was hit with the head with a frying pan.
I was nominated for a Comic Book Community Award for best comic book review. That's awesome. Last year we were nominated for 3. This year 1, but that's okay. I really want to win this one, so everybody vote for me. I'm sorry, Nick, but if this was the OnlyFans comic book fucking awards, you would be a shoo-in. But I want everybody to go and vote for me because I want to win a fucking award. I just want y'all to know that. Like
maybe you could tell us.
No kayfabe there. I want to fucking win an award. That would be awesome. I would fucking have it. It would make me feel accomplished. But nah, seriously, vote for whoever you want. Nick's the best. Let's be honest. Nick's way more nuanced than me. All I do is fucking just throw adjectives at the fucking wall, see what sticks. Anyway, plus I'm a shill. My friend's books will always make the pick of the week. So anyway.
I guess my question is now those review shows you do on Thursdays or Wednesdays, you do them in one take?
Which ones?
The ones
the
you
comic
do
book
on
review?
New Comic Book Day. Yeah, do you do them in one take?
Well,
one take?
I used to do them in one take, but my new camera only records 30 minutes at a time, so I have to break it up at some point, but they are done in one take. Yeah.
One take, Robbie.
With no plan.
Oh, yeah.
With no plan.
So Dylan's back.
Yeah. And in October, we're going to be on 6 years straight of the weekly comic book review.
Dude, if anybody drops out on that Nightmare on Elm Street, man, don't hesitate, brother. Don't hesitate.
When y'all ask about Bane or something?
I did. I miss Bane.
Yeah, my little bro Evan right here. He takes care of him now.
Yeah, that's good. At least I know Bane's not walking the streets.
Oh, never.
Or hooked on venom.
Or peanut butter.
But yeah, man, make sure you guys are there next, not September 3rd. Tune in for Toby Hooper's Life Force. You guys are not going to want to miss it. We got an all-star lineup with an all-star panel. It's going to be a lot of fun. Every horror fest is incredible, and they just get better and better. So I really cannot wait.
And from what I understand too, I'll be doing like a special section that just focuses on Matilda Mays Bush.
Oh yeah. So be sure to check it out. Like, share, subscribe, and we will see you guys on the next show. Peace out. Have a great rest of your week. Y'all the best.
Boom.
Boom.